Like if you just laid pieces of paper across here. And just what Dan brought up, you know, there's this triangular shape that you can see. And the reason why I like these guys is because they're made of planes, or pieces of wood, okay? So that you know this is a series of ellipses, right? And this is very flat, but you can imagine if you want to make it dimensional, you just add some more ellipses, okay? So down in here it gets pretty simplified, but right up in here in the body, it's excellent. Because if you imagine, too, you have these little vertices, right? A point here on the corner of this piece of wood and a point here on the corner of this piece of wood. And if you connect them, you create the roundness of that tail, correct? So what you guys are experiencing here, and with an exception to the legs, is exactly what I went through when I was 7. My mom would take my brother and I to the Museum of Nature and Science, and we would just draw dinosaur bones all day because we thought dinosaurs were super cool. All they had were bones. They had a couple like fleshed out ones, but we were like really interested in the bones, and that showed us how to then look at like what Dan said. Okay, look at this head for this Styracosaurus. Yeah, that's it, Styracosaurus. And then this forms out like this. Take this center like this. And then this is where the spikes come from. And then the body comes up here, and then we need to add these ellipses for the ribs, right? And then the big pelvis area back here. And then we have a leg that comes down like that. The bone mass here, a leg that comes down like that. And then just a rubbery conal shape with the tail. Okay, so now I've got a pretty good layout for that. And what I want you guys to do is just identify a lot of these simple shapes to create the proportions. So then later on, if you want, you could come back in and start laying out just slight muscle structures and use your imagination as far as what a dinosaur looks like.
Very muscular for their time. Had to walk it more.
Dinosaurs always have weird sets of joints like that. Because they have like a joint here and a joint there.
But most of the big ones have big ones here. Very generally.
A little extra mobility for raising your feet a lot less. You need them extra joints to hold all that weight. That is probably a lot more appreciated to have it.
Okay, so all I'm doing is just getting in the mode to create a nice gesture drawing. This is a gesture, a suggestion of this, if I fleshed it out. Okay? But I started off with, just identifying, like what Dan had brought up, some of the planes that you see in here, okay? And then the planes that you see all along here. Okay? And keeping in mind, all these planes are in a perspective, correct? All these are ellipses. Each one of these ribs is a type of an ellipse. Okay. And then, like I said, if you work with your imagination, you can connect a point here, a vertex here, to a vertex here, okay, and create ellipses from back here. You have flat planes here. You have a flat plane here that eventually you need to render out, okay? And how you get around to that is you put in these cross contour lines. That can help you start to develop scale position. If you want to do any type of scales or those thick leathery pods that sometimes are on their skin, like an alligator.
Looks like you're trying to grow a spider farm with these.
What's that?
It looks like you're trying to grow a spider farm. I saw these webs.
Oh, yeah. They've sat for quite a while. Okay? So that's all you're doing, okay? And I don't mean to make it sound that easy, alright? But essentially if you break them down into those simple shapes, all you're doing is just drawing that still life that I had you draw Monday, Friday, Wednesday. Okay? Does it make sense?
Yeah, don't try to see it as the complex thing right off the bat like I try to do. Just try to draw it to the basic forms and work from there.
It's very difficult. It is very difficult to see the contour right off the bat. Okay? So, this will help.